And what are some of those tips and tricks you learned to help manage the anxiety you were feeling?
Oh, can I give you the big one?
Yes.
This one always gets the internet's all riled up at me. Um, the first key to healing from anxiety is choosing to not be anxious anymore. I have to decide I don't want to be anxious anymore.
Mm,
And ruminating thoughts or anxious thoughts feel like they are protective thoughts, like they're helping us out, like we're coming up with a plan for if, or we're having conversations in our head. I mean, how many
mm.
times have you had conversation with somebody in your head over and over that you will never have in real life?
Are we just counting the last hour
Yes,
or
exactly. Like when I see him, I'm gonna tell him this, or my boss, I'm gonna let them know, or like you work on film sets. Like I'm gonna tell that DP that he we're not gonna tell
Yep.
anybody anything. We're not gonna have
Yeah.
any of these conversations ever. We never will have them. And we but we feel like it's good thinking, like it's helpful thinking, like it's important
Yeah.
thinking. Here's the catastrophe. Our body doesn't know the difference. And so when
Mm,
we start engaging in this conversation with ourself or with the end of time or with our boss that we're going to tell off finally, or when I tell I'm going to tell my wife the next time my body responds as though that's happening.
wow.
And so the way I would characterize that is if you had a clog in your sink once a year and you put Drano down it, that's really bad for your pipes, but it'll clean that thing out.
Mhm.
If you just wake up every day and dump Drano down your sink every
Mm,
day, in short order, it will eat through the pipes. That's what adrenaline and cortisol is designed for. It's designed for, oh gosh, there's a bear. I'm going to fight the bear. I'm going to sprint away from that bear. But if every day
wow.
I get up and I live in a cycle that is just stress upon stress upon stress, at some point, those chemicals that were designed to keep me alive in an acute situation kill me.
Mm,
They take everything from me. So I've got to decide. I don't want to be anxious all the time. This isn't helping me. This
mm.
isn't I'm using my alarm for everything, not just for the moments that and we don't want to be anxious free, by the way, anxiety free. That's
Mm,
dumb. You need an alarm system to let you know. So the first thing is I'm going to decide I'm going to live non-anxiously. And
mm,
then I'm going to be very curious about what are the things in my life that are setting off my body's alarms? Are they real? Are they not real? So I often will, one of the most common things I recommend for myself and for other people is they got to write down these stories that they keep telling themselves
mm,
about the future, about the past, about the present. Write these things down and demand evidence from them. Is this true or is this
mm.
not true? Some of them right off the bat. Here's an example. Like I may have told you this in private conversation. My daughter, I was doing something. I was walking out of the house and it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. I was going out in the yard to do one of my woo woo workouts in the morning. And I kissed my daughter on the top of her head. And
Mhm.
she's 5. And she shook her head. I said, "Good morning, baby. I love you." And I was walking out the door and she started shaking her head. And she's like, "All you ever want to do is kiss me and tell me that I'm gritty and brilliant and beautiful. I'm sick of it. I'm over you and I can't live like this anymore." That's what my 5-year-old said. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so, but here's the thing. I walked outside with a half smile on my face and half feeling like crap
Yeah.
because there's a story that's on a loop that is kind of a crappy dad. You're
Mm,
on the road a lot. You're always working on books. You're always right. You're always like you're not very present. You're not really good at this whole dad thing. And so whenever I feel like I'm not being a good dad, my body starts its protective routine, right? It dumps all the adrenaline, cortisol, because that's a threat. I want my kids to be in a relationship with me and I want to be in a relationship with my kids.
yeah.
And so I had to write down, I keep a little journal with me like a geek and I keep a journal and it's a story journal. And it just said, "Are you the worst dad?" Answer is no.
Mm,
Right. So that I demanded evidence from that story. What is true? I've been really busy. And she's 5. She's 5. We don't let her buy cigarettes or beer because she's
yeah.
5. She can't drive. She can't do anything because she's 5. So why in the world am I giving her a vote in my life? You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's just peeling those stories back. And then I can say, is there a couple of things I need to adjust here? My behavior? Absolutely. I can change my actions here and I can change my thoughts here.
Mm,
That's number 3 is really being intentional about changing those thoughts. And we often, I didn't even know that was possible until 7 or 8 years ago that I
mm,
had control over my thoughts. And It's like a muscle. And over time, you just start thinking the positive way this could turn out instead of the negative way this could turn out.
Mm,
And it changes everything.
wow.